Welcome, my name is Cassie Rosas Carson. I'm the Internship and Professional Development Coordinator for the College of IST in the IST Career Solutions Office. We are located on the first floor of the Westgate building, so if you need any help or support, you know where to find us. Today's workshop, we're going to focus on career fair preparation, but this really can apply to any kind of networking event. So, as I had stated earlier, the recruiting season has begun. This is the biggest part of the recruiting season for the entire academic year. Not that there is not recruiting in the spring, but this is definitely the biggest time that we see. There are two great opportunities that you can take advantage of. The IST Internship and Career Fair, which is specifically for IST students, that's going to be Monday, September 19th, and that's going to be at the Hyatt downtown by the Target. We also have Fall Career Days. Their internship day is going to be September 14th. They also have a technical full-time day, which is going to be September 15th, and that is going to be for all students. And that's going to be at the BJC. So definitely check out Nittany Lion Careers for more information on both of those events. And throughout the presentation, please put any comments or questions that you have in the Q&A or the chat. I'd be happy to address those throughout the presentation, and I'll make sure to leave a few moments at the end as well. So we're going to start with the first step of preparing for these type of events is the research. I have a lot of students that are always like, how do I kind of figure out who I want to talk to at these events? Because at our fair, the IST fair, there's going to be over 40 companies. So there's a lot more than you can talk to. And the university-wide events, we have over 200 companies. So we really want to narrow that down, and helping to do that is figuring out what you're looking for. And so what I mean by that is there an industry that you really want to work in, maybe a type of employer like public sector, private sector, corporate, nonprofit, small business, startup. Maybe there's a certain role that you're interested in doing, or maybe certain skills that you want to utilize in a certain internship or full-time job. That's going to help you to decide who you're kind of looking for based on the research. And you can identify the employers that are attending the events and all other events on Nittany Lion Careers in the top right corner. You'll see the events, and then you can select type and select career fair. You can also select info sessions or other workshops to attend and network with employers as well. And you want to utilize resources like Nittany Lion Careers to see what kind of positions that they are posting on their website, LinkedIn, Nittany Lion Careers. Maybe you want to go to their website to figure out what they're posting, and we'll get more detail into that. And something that I highly recommend is getting that top 10 is a good number to kind of shoot for the career fair. If you're able to spend more time at the fair, you can always expand that to maybe 15 or 20 companies. But depending on the lines and the length of conversations, you may or may not be able to hit all of them. So you want to make sure that you are narrowing down the list enough, and then you can adjust at the event from there. There's even a feature on Nittany Lion Careers. As you're doing some of your research, you can actually select the star symbol next to the company name, and that will add to your top 10 list that you can refer to under the event. So this is Nittany Lion Careers. As I had mentioned, if you go to the events tab at the top, there's also events at the left corner under the icon of Nittany Lion Careers that you can utilize as well. Selecting type, and that will narrow it down to all of the career fairs. And if you scroll down, you will find Fall Career Days and IST Career Fairs I referred to. Once you're on the page, you can select the employers tab where the arrow is on the screen, and that will give you the full list of employers and information, more information. If you select their name, it will give you information about the position they're recruiting for. So full-time internship, it will let you know what majors they're interested in. It will also give you links to their website and any other resources that they wanted to highlight. This is information that the recruiters have provided to students when they registered for the event. So this is the information they want you to know. They'll give you some sponsorship information and a brief description of the company as well. So if you're seeing some things that you don't recognize, explore and find some new companies, because there's some really cool employers out there that are attending our event that might have some opportunities you never even dreamed of. So the second step Now that you have an idea of who you're talking to at the event, is going to be the preparation of attending that actual day. So one thing you might want to think about is, what are some goals that I have for that day? What do I want out of this event? Am I hoping to get some leads at some potential opportunities that are currently posted? Do I want to try to get maybe an interview scheduled for something I've already applied to, or maybe they're looking to schedule interviews at the event? Am I just looking to identify some potential employers I might want to work for in the future? Maybe I already have an opportunity, but I want to keep my options open for the future. So kind of having an idea of what you're looking for, even having more information of what their hiring process looks like, that might help filter some questions or ideas or things that you want to drive in the conversation. So that can kind of help you when we're doing all this other preparation. You want to develop a script. So that's your elevator pitch, your quick introduction, whatever people refer it to. That gives you that kind of opener when you step up to that table. You're having that handshake with the recruiter. It gives you that starting point with the conversation, and then having some questions to facilitate from there as you hand them your resume and the conversation goes back and forth. You also want to make sure your resume is up to date, because you do want to bring that with you, because that's going to help drive some conversations that the recruiter might have for yourself. And you want to update your LinkedIn, because some of them might utilize that platform for the applications. Maybe you want to connect with some of the recruiters after the event. It gives you a great thing to refer to. And sometimes even companies will bring iPads or other things that you might be able to apply in the moment. So technology has really kind of streamlined things. So making sure that you have all of that up to date and ready to go for the day of. So the in-person events, you want to dress professional. So that is business attire, interview attire, again, however you want to describe that. We're talking blazers, collared shirts, button-ups, ties, dresses, skirts, all those things. You want to make the best first impression, dressing for the job that you want. The day of the affair, date of the affair, you want to make sure that you're really scheduling your day, because both of these events you're going to have to travel to from your classes. So you want to make sure that you are thinking about the travel time. Maybe you're even dressing in between the events and classes and other things that you might have. And you might want to bring a mask for the event. We are not requiring one at these events. We are following Penn State policy. It is to your comfort level, and it will also be for the comfort level of the recruiters. But it's always good to have one just in case. So something else to kind of expect, especially if you haven't been to an in-person event either in a while or yet at Penn State, it can be some long lines. There's a lot of companies, there's a lot of attendees, so you might not be able to walk up to everyone, but you might see that there's some companies that have long lines and some that don't have any. Maybe jump over to those tables that don't have a line and discover a great new opportunity that you didn't know about. Or maybe go to someone else on your list, see if they have a shorter line, so you're really maximizing your time. The conversations that are going to be about 1 to 2 minutes, depending on kind of the line probably at the table. The recruiter is going to see how much time that they have. So you might have some quicker conversations at one table and some longer conversations at some other tables. There's also probably going to be some free swag that they're giving out that you can take. So just expect that, or, if you want to take something off the table, that's completely fine. That's why they bring them. And if you don't take them, then they give them to us and we don't have enough storage. So take advantage of this, get some cool free things. And then also get a reminder of oh yeah, did I follow up this company as I'm pulling out maybe a pen or a koozie, or who knows what they have this year. And then also too, they are going to tell you to apply online. That is how all the HR processing is going for your background check, your screening interviews, getting moved through the process, gathering information. So you do have to apply online, but it doesn't mean that they didn't take that resume, or after you left, they're not making notes to look at your application that night or the next day to schedule or follow up with you. And I hate it when I hear from recruiters that are like, I had a great conversation with the student and then they never applied. And they can't move you through the process without having your information in their HR system. So please make sure you are following through. They're not just saying it to say it. They are spending money. They are taking time out of their schedule to come and meet you guys. So shine and follow through. So when we're doing the introduction for the elevator pitch, as we mentioned before, as part of the preparation, this is something that you want to start with, as they might be recruiting for a couple different things. So your name, your major, your year, so your first year, second year, third year, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, and what you're looking for: an internship, a cyber internship, or a full-time position in UX, UA design, or something like that. So just giving them a kind of idea of what you're looking for, and that helps to facilitate the conversation. The next part of the kind of pitch you want to think about adding is maybe highlighting something about yourself. What is something that you want this recruiter to know? Is it skill sets that you have, an experience that you have, something you're currently involved in? Something to make you kind of shine, get that nice confident boost, get them interested in you. So there's a lot of different ideas, and then maybe even highlight, where you want to take your career, your direction of your major. That might really kind of interest them and be like, oh, maybe you're really good for a rotational program or co-op or something else. So sharing that information helps them to maybe know what opportunities that they have to share with you. And then also to talk to them about why you chose to have a conversation with them. Out of all the booths that are there, what made you want to talk with this company? What intrigues you or interests you about them? They want to feel special just like you want to feel special. So don't forget to add that to your conversation. And I always like to end with a question. I think it's just a great way of kind of facilitating the conversation, but you don't have to do that. That's just kind of my preference. So here's a potential example of what an elevator pitch might look like. Hello, my name is Cassie Rosas Carson. I am currently a junior studying information sciences and technology. I am looking for a summer internship in application design and development where I can utilize my skills in project management and Python. I recently utilized common application architectures and design patterns in a class project in my objective orientation application development course. I'm interested in building my skills with your company's application developer internship I found in Nittany Lion Careers. Can you tell me about your company's hiring process and what you look for in a potential intern? So kind of having a little bit of an idea of what you want to say, and you can even improvise throughout it. So I added a little something at the end. It just felt natural at the time, and that's okay. You kind of have a idea of what you're saying, something kind of scripted, but something that also comes out naturally, so you're not too scripted, that you can kind of just go with the flow, and that's completely okay. So I get a lot of questions too about questions to ask, and you want to kind of switch it up. This is your chance to talk with someone from a company. And I know that I have a lot of students that always ask questions like, what are they looking for in a candidate? Or, they didn't really give a lot of details, so I'm not really sure what to include or talk about in an interview or resume. I don't know what their hiring process is, what I should prepare for, what the culture's like, on and on and on as you're doing the research. So this is your time to ask those questions to someone that works there and get that information back. So think about what is beneficial for you based on, again, what are you looking for? What's going to be most helpful to you? That's the point of this conversation, is standing out, getting information, because they're looking for good candidates and you're looking for good places to apply to. So see if those things add up. You're not always going to have a perfect match with everybody, but that's okay. It's still great to practice those networking skills, have conversation, and that way you can kind of know where you should be spending most of your time with doing future applying, and what ones you're like, just not a good fit. I'm going to go look for some other companies, maybe check out some tables that I don't recognize or some names I don't recognize. So there's a lot of different type of questions that you can have, but again, really thinking back to those goals of what you're looking for and what's going to be helpful for you in the process as you're moving forward to find an internship or a full-time job. So some tips of things to stand out: making sure that you dress professionally. Unfortunately, we do have some times where students don't wear the most appropriate things, so just really try to make yourself look as polished as possible. There is some professional clothes that are available at the professional closet over at the Bank of America building. If you don't have anything, that's okay. Try to work and make an effort as best as you can. If you don't have a dress down shirt, you can't get access to one, wear a nice polo shirt, something else. So really trying to make that best polished look as you can. pretend to be confident. I know a lot of you don't feel that, but that's okay. Fake it till you make it. Have that eye, the shoulders back, your eye contact, that can really do those nonverbal, confidence as you have it. But if you're practicing what you're going to say, you have some things to offer, and remember that you're a new professional, you're going into maybe an internship, and these are all meant to be learning positions. They're not experts, but if you can know to talk about yourself, what skills you're good at, other soft skills, technical skills, some things that you're interested in based on your own self-awareness, that shows really good confidence to a company. So that, as I mentioned already, that eye contact, practicing your introductions, these all come off that confidence, even with it maybe not feeling that confidence, and that's okay. And then make sure that you're asking some quality questions. And what I mean by that is not asking any questions that you can easily find online. So if you're doing that research, that should help you kind of filter out some questions that are kind of easy. So after the fair, just a couple things to keep in mind, because you hopefully are attending a couple different events, but the fair is just kind of the starting off point, and you want to continue after that. So as I mentioned, make sure that you're applying online, because they do need your information in order to move you forward. I would encourage you to follow the company online after, even connecting with the recruiter that you talked with, and maybe even sending them a message. Thank you for talking with me at the fair today. I really enjoyed the conversation. I completed my application as you instructed. I hope to hear from you soon. Great way to stand out. Do that extra step, show that extra effort, that initiation that a lot of them are really looking for. It's a great skill. And then start looking at other opportunities. Get back onto Nittany Lion Careers. Get back onto LinkedIn, other company websites, USA Jobs, whatever you're looking at. This is, again, just the starting point. There's a lot of opportunities that are online. There's a lot of opportunities at these events, and there's still on-campus events after these events. So keeping up to date, keeping active in your search is going to be really important. So if you need help throughout the process with anything, from having a more detailed conversation about how to prepare to strategies applying online, interview prep, anything like that, sign up for a career coaching appointment through Starfish. Get a resume review. We have a great event that's happening on Monday with our corporate sponsors. We also have individualized appointments and drop in every Wednesday for resume reviews. Stay up to date on some of the events that are going on through our Sunday night weekly email from IST Career Solutions. And just want everybody to know that if you haven't done the IST 495 requirement for internship, we are the office that approves, facilitates that requirement. So you have any questions, or if you need to notify us of your internship before the internship to get it approved and enrolled in the course, contact us. And also we do interview prep and anything else related to careers and internships. So we're gonna wrap up the workshop. This is a great time for you to enter in your questions into the Q&A or the chat. As I just kind of wrap things up for today, I want to make sure that this is beneficial for you guys. And if there's some things that I didn't hit, this is a great time to get those addressed, because I'm sure there's other people that might have that same question. So our next hot topic is going to happen after the career fair, and we're going to get more into detail about those search strategies, other websites that are good resources, and basically what are some good things to do after some of these networking events to find an internship or full-time job. Following us on our social media, especially the Instagram, you'll get some great information about things that are going on, tips, success stories from previous interns or alumni, and not just from our office, but advising, student engagement in our diversity office. So great way to stay connected with the college. If you need to contact us at any time for approval of an internship or a question of some kind, you can email careers@ist.psu.edu. And if you have a moment, we would appreciate if you scan the QR code and give us some feedback on this workshop, but also some other workshops you might want to see throughout the semester. All right, so I'm going to stop the recording and then we will get into our questions.